Hi guys, so let's start the detail part. As you can see, I already finished some of it. Um, this horrible thing just happened. I record all this in like more than an hour, and then my recording software just crashed on me. So basically, I lost more than an hour work. This happens to me a lot. Uh, I'm using Camtasia, but I don't know. But okay, so let's start over again. I won't be starting over to do all. This is just the first step of the detail. So there's a lot more than this. But I will explain basically step by step how did I create the alpha brush, and how did I use it, and where did I get the alpha. So let's start with talking just basically skin pore on human. A lot of people do the mistake. They basically grab like one or two alpha brushes, just like alpha skin pore brush, and then just drag on their model all over the place, like for the whole model. That doesn't make sense because for realistic human, each pore and at different position, they have varieties. So basically, you can see, um, let's see a detail image that I was able to find in 3ds. So let's go to Photoshop. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So as you guys can see, this skin pore, right? Some is deeper, some is not, different sizes. And let's focus on more like direction. You can see this is more like direction from here all the way to there. And the direction from here all the way to here is the same thing. I like to think this is more like this kind of feeling. And the direction of the nose, right? Direction of the eyes. I'm talking about the surface details, right? And for forehead, it goes with the wrinkles, basically. Right, and you can see all these small wrinkles over here, the small wrinkles over here, right? You can see the small wrinkles over here, this direction, this direction. So you have directional wrinkles, you have skin pore, and you have more deeper wrinkles on the top of it. I can see all this, right? I'm doing this basically to show you how many variations just on the skin pore. You have this dot over here. You have this going down over here, and you have, this is not really showing, but you have this kind of detail lying around from here over there. This is not a good drawing, but I'm not trying to do a good drawing. I'm trying to show you the direction, wrinkles, skin surface on the face, and neck, of course. Go this way, this way. So in order to do this, get this kind of detail, eyelid, for here, usually go this way, especially this will show mostly when you have the expression on. Alright, so in order to get this kind of realism, you need to break all up. So the way that I break it up is I have a surface detail. Basically, it's the skin port over here. But this one just basically, think about this is the bottom of the layer. And everything else is just built on the top of it. So you have my basically surface directional wrinkles, and this is exactly what I'm doing over here. And I'll show you exactly how to do it, so don't worry about it. But you can see I have direction here, I have direction going there, I have direction going here. For the eyes, I have direction going here, I have direction going here, I have direction going this way, alright? And neck, I have direction going here. But this will make a lot of sense once I put in the layer on the top of it and on the top of it to make it more interesting, to make it more detailed, and to make it more realistic. Alright, so let's talk about the first layer. So before I'll say like maybe 2 years ago, this is what I do. Alright, so I have this on layers as well. I have a surface detail. Right now I'm doing the same thing, but before I didn't know the correct way to do it, so this is what I did. And a lot of people are doing this, alright? The surface detail, what did I use over here? This is way too unified, right? This is all the same basically, but this is fine. But in order to get the realism that we're looking for, this is not a good way to do it. All right, so basically how I did it before, I basically go into, so let me turn this off. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I just went to surface right here. Just noise. It's basically just a noise on the top. As you can see right now, I have doubled it because I already basically have this baked into my mesh. But if I turn that off, you can see this is what I get. And basically you go to edit, you will see basically just a noise. The scale turned it to a little bit lower. The strains, not so much. And then just okay, you give you this kind of surface, and which I don't like. It's not I don't want it. I mean, like from far away, you can believe it, and I believe that if I really go into it and detail it up, just like what I'm going to do, it still will be a good one, a good skin detail, but not as much as the way that I'm going to show you guys. All right, so this is the old method. I don't want it anymore, but sometimes I still do it, and just to give it a little bit, because we know skin surface is not perfect, right? It has up and down. So basically, I may just do that a little bit to give it a noise on the top to start with. But right now, I'm not doing this. I'm just showing you guys this is the old way that I did it. For the new method, I basically, for the first layer, I basically I create some alphas, and I go in and I basically drag different alphas on different locations to get this kind of result. All right, so let's get started now. So basically how I did it is, I don't know if you guys heard surface mimic. If you go into the site, you will see a lot of very interesting 3D scan textures. You have texture, they have displacement map, which is high map, and they have normal map. Alright, so just go to surface mimic, and then you have like human skin package. You have a lot. I believe a lot of studio are using this. This is pretty helpful. So just basically go to human, and we're focusing on face and skin. Let's go to face first. Let's go to male, and this is basically you have 40s, you have 70s, you have 30s. That's the age. So I basically go to 40s, just depending on the age that you want, but the character is around 40. It's not definitely 70. So this is what they gave you if you buy it. I cannot, sorry, apologize again. I cannot give you guys this because I bought it from Surface Mimic. It's legally not mine to gift. So basically, but I create a lot of offers just based on this. But I don't want to give it out just because I don't want any legal issues. I do this tutorial to help out a lot of people. So if you want going to Surface Mimic, it's not that expensive. And I'm sure you can purchase and you can do exactly the same way that I'm going to teach you guys. So basically this when they give you, if you buy a package here, basically when they give you, it's a full face. Basically they separate the forehead, the nose, the jaw, and the cheek area and give it to you. So the way that they give this out is not the easiest way to use, all right? But I found a way to kind of go around it. So let me show you what did I get for the full face. All right, so let's go to Photoshop. Let's close this ugly painting. This is the full face that I get. All right. Nose. This is cheek separated by left and right. This is right. This is left. This is jaw area. This is jaw left. This is forehead. Forehead right and left. All right. So if you go in, let's do this. If you go in, let's say forehead only. Let's go in. Let's take a look of this. Just play around with your level. You can see this is clearly the vein on the top of the forehead, the side forehead, but that's not the wrinkle that we want, the surface detail that we want. The one that we need is stuff like this. You know, to give you the direction, something like that would be good. To give you the direction. All right. So that's the direction wrinkle, and for the pore, you can basically go in here. You can see those pore detail, right? There. You have to make it square because that will be better for you to use as alpha brush in ZBrush. So again, play around with the level to make it more stand out. After you have this detail, you save it. I'm saving it as just a PSD file because ZBrush can basically handle PSD file. So I name it Skin Pore Try 1. Alright, so I just did that and I go back to ZBrush. I want to turn this off because this is already half the detail that I did on the top. Alright, so I turn this off. I temporarily just create another layer. I go a test. By the way, I don't want to lose this anymore, so let me save it first. All right. So we get back to ZBrush. We turn this off. So right now we have a smooth surface. And then I go to Alpha. I go to Import. Go to my desktop. Skin port try 1. That's the exactly same file that we just did in Photoshop. I go to Alpha. I go to Radial Fade. Put into like the number I do is 9 to 11. So basically it will give you like a faded kind of round circle feeling. So if you don't do this, you will get this kind of feeling. You see, like the square, and you don't want that at all, right? So basically you can go it to 9 or something, and you just drag it. You know, so that's kind of the same feeling that I was doing, right? So I don't know. So we have a problem here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but since this is kind of just black and white, a lot of gray value in between, it actually bumped my sculpt out more. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's do this, and you guys can see it more clearly. Okay. Did you see it? Especially here. This is basically inflate that. Alright. So a lot of people have this problem, but I'm gonna teach you guys how to solve it. There's 2 ways to do it. One, and just change the setting alphas. The alpha is doing this because it has a middle value on the top. So basically when you crank this number around like 50 or so, and then when you do it again, I need to go to draw. When you do it again, it will just stick on your surface. You can see, it will just have the surface detail. All right. You can see right here you have the bump up, but here it's flat. Right? All right. The other way to do it is when you finish this. That doesn't matter. Because this is all in one layer. The other way to do this, to fix this, basically you turn off your layer on your detail. You go to subdivision level 1. You store morph target, and then you go to the highest one. You turn your detail back on. So you guys can see, so especially here. You see? Still have it, right? Alright. So you turn it back on, go to the lower subdivision level, and just switch it. When you switch it, it goes back to the smooth base mesh that you had before. But at the same time, when you subdivide it to level 6, it still saves all the detail that you have. So the surface won't, the shape won't be changed. You can see now. Now it's just the surface detail. Alright, so there's 2 ways to do it. So basically, this is exactly what I did. So I make one for skin port, something like this. I make the other one, I called skin direction. It looks like this. You can see the direction there, right? This is how it feels like. So I basically go in. I'm gonna delete this layer. This is so when I go in, I create the layer, I rename it, and I go in, I follow the direction like that. Okay, this is just and I smooth it out on the edge, and I change the brush to another one. I have skin port 2. It's basically this kind of brush. I'm doing this more loose right now. I was doing very careful the first time, but I waste almost 2 hours of my time. So basically just doing this, but just be careful. You still need to follow the skin direction that is on the skin. So you can see this is going this way. And for the eyes, it's going this way. By the way, this is how I create this. I basically just go to Photoshop. It's exactly the same thing that I'm doing here. I just do this. Play with the level. I don't really care about this because when I get into ZBrush, you'll have the radial fade, so this won't matter. Alright, so this is exactly what I'm doing. Alright, so and this is just the first layer. So I'm saying all the layer need to stick on the top of it in order to see the realistic feeling of it. So we still have a lot of work to do, but this is what I got so far. So when I get in, right now this doesn't look good at all. Alright, so a lot of people making this kind of mistake, since this is basically done. But no, you have to go in, you have to basically give a variation of pores, you have to give it more directional, you have to give it the acne, the imperfection of the skin, the mold, maybe some people have scar, all that adding together, and maybe stubbles, you know. So this is just the beginning part. And this is mostly using alpha to create, but for the next few parts, we'll use a lot of hand sculpting. Alright, so another stuff, I want to show you guys just all the alpha brushes that I'm using, so you guys don't feel I left anything that I didn't talk about. So we done this. This I hardly find it good to use just because all this information, it will have like bump out and indentation in, and it's just pretty useless. Alright, so I'm going to show this is basically the skin brushes that I have. I have alpha brushes, human skin, and all this was I bought it from surface mimic. So as you guys can see, this have neck, bald head shaved, male 40s, cheek, forehead, jaws. So all this is in the brush here. It's in the website here. Go to face, surface mimic, human, skin, and you can find it all in here. This is some of the old skin that I have, but still it's pretty useful. So you guys can see jaws, upper lip, cheek, forehead. So I would suggest you guys to get 40s cheek, forehead, and one jaw. Just pick one. It doesn't really matter. And there's one that I would really recommend. This is really good to sculpt hand. Male hand. Back. But we're talking about face, right? So bald, head shaved. This one is good for just on the back of the head, the top of the head, and neck. Get one as well. Lower neck 1, lower neck 2. And they still have a lot of skin detail over here. Just look at it and take a look and see which one you think would be helpful. But just remember, you don't put this to everywhere. You don't, okay? You put it onto the place, the position that makes sense. That's the most important part. All right, so this is the alpha secret that I have. Obviously, when I buy it, I still go into Photoshop, use level and tweak here and there. Just basically make the features that I want appear a little bit more. All right, and let's get back to this guy. All right, so that's the first level that we have. And on the top of this, I forgot to show you guys this. This was all the skin alpha, other than the surface mimic one that I'm using. I created some of it on the skin pore, the skin direction, but a lot of it just this kind of bump skin. I remember this is from a package from Neumann a long time ago. I'm sure a lot of people have it. I'm not sure that a lot of people is using it, but this is pretty useful for me, especially for directional skins, pores. I hardly use leather skins anymore, but this is the one I have. It's not a lot, but I just pick one that is useful for me. Alright, there's that. So I let you guys see all the brushes that I have. I show you guys basically how I created this from scratch. So forehead, I use forehead. So you guys can see I have what's this, forehead over here, we have a cheek over here. So forehead over here, cheek over here. But pay attention that I still follow the direction. You can see the direction here. You can see the direction there. You can see the direction going this way. You can see the direction going this way. And you can see the direction going this way. Alright. Let's just try something. Just because I want to show you guys a little bit more. And let's try the detail part. So still skin port detail. Let's import some other brushes. See what other brush that I have. Alright, so this is a skin alpha that I created a long time ago. But I'm going to skin details. All this. So let's see what it does. I haven't used a lot of this, but just to show you guys how would I do it and how would I pick to do the skin port. Almost there. 9, 10. Alright, so let's do this. First thing, put it to 9, put the mean value to 45, and let's go and see what this do. Oh, nice. Alright, so this kind of directional line, directional line, this I think is pretty useful, but let's say I put it into like 8 or 9, or not even that, just put it right over here. You know, something like this. And when you're doing this, you don't want it to be too symmetrical. So feel free to basically give it a little bit of variations. Something like that. No, did it crash? No. I'll wait for a little bit. Okay, didn't crash. Thank God. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. Alright. Anyway, that's a way to do it. The other one that I can think is right over here. But this need to be very careful, because this is almost like a straight line, and you don't want too much straight lines over here. So that's one way to use it. Or maybe we could do something like this. Okay, just some small details. Just kind of show you guys how would I use it. Let's see, a more interesting one maybe. This one. Let's see what this one does. Oh, this is good. Alright, so did you see this detail over here? Let's see if I can have... Oh, I remember I have a really good detail reference about his face. Look at this. So to mimic, you can do this kind of stuff. I do it separately. When I say separately, it's not symmetrical. Just to avoid that kind of feeling. But very interesting pore detail. For this, okay, that's that. You don't need to use it too much, okay? Use it when you think it can help you. The most important thing still just the hand sculpt part. But I think this can help on the neck a lot. So I'm gonna use this. On the neck. How about 11? Okay. Alright, that was good. If you think it's a little bit heavy-handed, it's fine. Just to make sure that it's following the flow direction that I have right now. Maybe I can do a little bit over here too. No. I want this to be hand sculpted. I think this will be a lot better. So maybe on the top of the eyelid. That I don't mind. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Remember, this is just the first step, alright? So this is the first layer of the detail. Alright, I'm gonna step this now. Hopefully, let me see first. And the next one, we're gonna be talk about 10 scoped detail. Okay, so let's continue the detailing. So what we add right now is we add everything in layer, right? And this is the first surface skin detail layer. I'm gonna create another one. It's called wrinkles. Alright. So in this layer, basically, I'm just watching all these references and scope the wrinkle out. Alright. So let's see. Okay. So he got a lot of wrinkles on the cheek, the crossfeed area. I don't have a really clear kind of picture to see, but I'll try my best. Let me see if this one have a clear one. It has, but okay. Alright. I would just have to guess a little bit. Guess half of it, I think, because I don't have like a super clear shot of all the references. Yeah. Okay. I'll say probably this one, and give you kind of, I'll just study this view of it and see if I can get something out of it. Alright, so for this kind of wrinkle, I usually just use 4, 2, 4, damn standard brush. And this goes on the top of the surface wrinkle that we have. Alright. So let's see. Got one from here. A little bit too small. 6. How about 6? Yeah, it's okay. Alright, so first of all, that's a bit too much. 7, 6. Alright, that's good. So it goes from here to the side. So I'm doing this. I kind of make sure that I have different strength in there. See the one that we have here. All the way in there. Okay. This is just the line work that we're working on right now. So I don't like this because remember I told you guys when you're sculpting the wrinkles, make sure that it's not too just repetitive. So even though I have different direction, I would like to, even though it's really similar, I would like to move this on top a little bit more. So how can I do this right now? Like if you really want to do it, you have to kind of smooth out and you have to do the detail again if you don't keep everything in layer. Gladly I did keep everything in layer, so I basically just turned that down. Sculpting again. Smooth it out. Turn it back. And let's do it again. Okay. Right. Okay, so wrinkles will be in here. You see that I gave it a little bit break. Okay, that is fine. And I see some like really small lines over there, so I'm just gonna do those kind of small lines like that. Even though it's hard, really hard to see, but okay. That's fine. There's still a lot that we can do over here. But for more small detail, I want to keep it later. Right now we're kind of focusing on bigger wrinkles. And I want to do something here over as well. So there's wrinkles, big wrinkles, and there's small wrinkles. So I consider this kind of wrinkle, small wrinkle. And I'll show you guys how to do it. But right now, let's just focusing on that. So basically, just line that right over here. Okay, so I know the wrinkles will not be 100% correct because I can't really find a really good reference. But I do want a wrinkle to follow. Okay. And put here. Okay. Let's see, what else can we find? Okay, over here. Stronger line. Go over here. And goes down there. And the more small lines that we kind of saw on the other side. Okay, so as you can see, the wrinkle is not that connected. So you basically do this and I break it up a bit. Okay. And same as this kind of place, this place will have wrinkle. Just basically when you more doing your expression, you will show a little bit more. If you're not doing expression, maybe you won't show that much. But you will have some wrinkles here. So I'm just putting some of it in there. And just kind of follow the line that I have. So you guys can see this is some, from this distance you can see big wrinkles here, but when you get in, you can see like the breakup. Same as here. Just to give it a little bit information. Okay, let's continue to the forehead. So I can see the wrinkle over here, there, and 3 on the top. Obviously this one will be the one that was sculpting right here. So I'm gonna just do it slightly. There. And you can see some small wrinkle there. But those big wrinkles, so this one over here, from here, break up, I don't like it. Let's do it again. Separate. Okay, that's fine. separate again. Okay, that's fine. Another one is right over here. It's around like your brow bone area. Okay. And one on the other side. Break it up a little bit. There. And on the top we have two more. And one on the very top. Okay. Let's see. There's some like wrinkle. Right over here. You can kind of count those in as a small detail. So right now I'm just trying to sculpt the eyelid. Remember to kind of follow the form that you have. Okay. So the neck. Mostly the neck, it can be a little bit rougher. 8 size should be good. Okay. So one long one over here. A few more. has some wrinkles around the neck. Okay. Maybe the wrinkle's not 100% correct, but it's fine. Just need to make sure that you have some deeper one to kind of break it up. I still think about the final pose because I think if you turn his head around a little bit, it will give it a lot of more interesting this kind of wrinkle to show the sculpting. But I'm not sure at this point, so should have some wrinkles. Over here. Okay. After this, we're gonna focus on the mouth to make a detail, and we're gonna add, let's add forms on the top first, and then we can add the shapes to the mouth, and we still have some final step I need to go through. Let's see. Okay. Still not even close, okay? We still have a lot to do. But for the wrinkle mark, like all the wrinkle lines, I think this would do. Okay. I might just do a little bit, like right over here. You can see some line going down. you won't see it without expression, but I think it's good to have. We still have wrinkles form. We have small wrinkles. We have skin imperfection. We have veins and all that. So we have mouth. So still a lot of stuff to go. But it's getting there. I'll do this. We'll get into that detail very quickly. After this, we're gonna put some form on the wrinkles that we sculpt. And then we go from there. Let me save it first. Wrinkles. Alright guys, let's continue with this. So right now, you got a basic line of the wrinkle. Now we're going in and remember how we made it, like the shape of the wrinkles. We're gonna do the similar thing for each one of it. So it doesn't look like you just have a line on the top. You have the value on the top. You have the thickness. It has a shape. Alright, so for this, personally, I don't think you need extra layer just for that. This is considered wrinkles as well. So I would just go in and starting detail that. For this kind of stuff, I like to use just standard brush. Keep the intensity fairly low, and for this you can't really you can't really do it symmetrically because everything is asymmetrical right now. So let's just get in. So you see I'm adding the thickness to it, but I'm not adding like a lot. It's really just enough so it's not only a line on the top, be really careful when you're doing this kind of detail, because you don't really want to, unless you basically click off the detail, the surface detail that you have. Otherwise, when you smooth it, then you have to redetail that part. So I basically just be more careful. For the wrinkle around, like right around the eye corner, it will be, the thickness will be a little bit more. And that is exactly what I've been doing right now. I think maybe this is a little bit too much, but if I think it's too much, I can just smooth it out after, because I have it in layers. Right now, I'm more worried about, I'm going in and give it more shape. And pay attention that when I go in, and when I give it a shape, I always give it in the bottom of the wrinkle, because basically it has gravity, and wrinkle will definitely, like the heaviest part will be in the bottom of the wrinkle. So I'm just trying to get some value in there so it doesn't look just flat. Again, we still have a lot of detail to do, but this is just for wrinkles, the big wrinkles. From the past experiences, I noticed that, especially when I'm doing this, sometimes I give it too much value, just too much, that's too heavy-handed. But that's totally fine. You can always smooth it, or you can control how much do you want after. Okay. Okay. Let's do the other side. So I'm just basically adding a little bit in the bottom to kind of give it thickness. By the way, you don't have to do it with to all of it. Some of it it should reading just like a line. So distance, that's fine with me. Going a little bit, give a thickness on some small detail here as well. Here we'll have a bit more. This part will be pretty subtle, alright, but you can pretty much clearly see the difference between just a line or it has some weight, has some value in there. Okay. Now the forehead. Forehead had to be a little bit careful. Because forehead already have a clear shape and you don't want it to be enhanced or change too much of what we already have. So just a little bit thickness. Okay. Here's some big change. Because I notice like the shape is more doing that. So I would like to change it. And basically you want to move this down more and move this up. Okay. Let's see how it feels. Right, that's fine. I think you maybe move this down just a tiny more. Like that. Okay. Here I want to move a little bit up. just to give it like the flow. Okay, and that part's easier. Now let's continue with the mouse detail. Okay. So before this, create a layer. I'll say lips details, and let's get right to it. The lip detail you have to look really closer, but from far away you can, for some people's lips you can see all the shapes, but for him his, I would say his mouth, like lip, is pretty smooth, especially when it's around like that. But starting by just adding a little bit shape on the top. So this is kind of what most of lips have, right? So I'm just gonna scope it out. You have a little bit like indentation right above the like the under lip line, just a little bit. Same goes to the top. I already have some. I just kind of make a little bit obvious, like that. Then you can start the detail. For the detail, it's better to look at the detail reference that we have. Alright, so I think that's great. For me to do that, very small brush, get a line first. Just the line will be fine. For the top, we just have to kind of make it up. I mean, I don't see any reference that I really have for the top. Okay, now I can see it. This is a good one because you can see there is a shape over here. So what you can do is, this shape is around this area. Right, that's some big shape right there, so enhance it a little bit more. I want to do some of it on the bottom as well, just to make it more interesting. So it's not reading just like a line. Alright, so let's go to the highest subdivision level. Using the same brush, since we can't really see it, I have to just kind of make it up. Now the detail, I mean, you can hardly see it, but you still do see kind of some breaks up around it. Okay. Just to give it some shape. And the detail. People have this all over the lips. It's been depending on if it's more obvious or not. You can definitely see some of it. Okay. Trying to put some variations in there. Okay. ZBrush is saving, so wait a second. So something I want to talk about is basically this is what I'm kind of guessing right now. It will work way better if your references have the detailed shot of the mouse upper lip and the lower lip. It will work way better that way. So basically I'm just going in and I'm kind of just detailing. I do this kind of stuff just because I wanted to have variations. So when I do it, not every time the strength is the same, right? That creates variation on the top. And you can definitely pick and choose which one you want to strengthen a little bit more. And going in. Okay. Alright. Now we kind of have the line. I want to do one more thing just to make sure that we have some bigger lines for us to follow. Like that, maybe this one. Okay. Now you have those. Let's use standard brush and doing what? We go in and give it more value. So some of the shape will stand out more. Definitely need some more over here, because that's kind of breakup that we're looking for. Okay.